What's up? I'm on Rohan, all that good stuff. My day is going pretty good. Hopefully yours is. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Now, I have a question in the midst of this. What kind of stance is it that you hold? Is it defensive or offensive? Which is it that you hold? Do you stand steadfast? Are you one that, regardless of the circumstance, you are able to last? Are you one that gives up fast? Are you one regardless of the circumstance? You are the last. So what is it that is your stance? Do you have the proper things to guide you? Or you can only last if there are proper things that can guide you. Like, for example, ones keep trying to promote or whatever they wish. I keep giving them a very specific answer. It's because of my stance. When ones are ready to listen, then they are. If they're not, then they're not. How can I force something upon someone if they're not ready for it? When it comes time, it will work out in that allotted amount of time. But also, there's more than just that. Only other question is, when it comes such time, are you willing to change your stance? Temporarily, that is. Whatever it may be. To have a purely defensive stance is not always wise to have only this. For opportunities in the midst of this, to take advantage, that's the point of steadfast, to wait for the advantage. Is it not? You cannot defend purely without being offensive at some point. It would be as if I took my weapon off. You cannot stay in a steadfast stance with your weapon off. So why is it that you do not know about this? About the fact you have a weapon and you must use this. If you do not, you will regret it when it is your back against the wall. Nothing left to do but change the stance that is familiar to you. Or you let happen what it is that will. You do not draw your sword when it is time for you to do so. For it is not for you to know the time. Only in that certain time. But it is up to you when it is that you change this stance. But you cannot stay in a defensive stance. Nowhere will you get. You must show or show the fact that you are offensive as well. You wish to be what it is you wish to be. So when is it that you will choose to be? Your defensive stance does not last forever. So which stance is it that you are currently in? You cannot be in an offensive one as well, though. Just so you know. But what is it that guides you in the midst of this? Do you know when it is that you must change from defensive to offensive? It's not always easy to tell when it is your time to do this. That's the point of being in a steadfast, waiting for the opportunity. But as soon as you see it, you must act. You cannot just pretend that you happen to act. There are ones that can take more than others, yes, but there must still be an offensive stance. Even if you have a shield as it is you have a defensive or offensive stance. It doesn't matter. You must have one. If you don't, then how far do you expect to get if you wish to go forward, if you cannot attack back? Yes, you can outlast. That's fine and well. Depends on how it is you choose. But you cannot stand on the bleachers and do nothing. You must get in the game and do something. If you wish to stay on the bleachers, then that is fine. But I will tell you this, you will regret that at some time. Purely defensive is not well planned. Neither is purely offensive either. You cannot stay in just one stance. If you do, you miss the opportunities. Funny thing is, you've probably thought of these opportunities. As it is, they came. Say, man, I'm doing this. That is such a shame. Do you not know that as soon as you thought that, you probably should have changed your stance as far as defending or attacking? You cannot win if you are only doing one. Now, if your opponent is far less than what you are and you defend, that is different. But also, if you wish to make progress and show others that wish to maybe challenge, then give them something worthy to challenge. Otherwise, you sell yourself short on what it is you could do. So which of the stances are true for you? Now, what I mean by defensive or offensive is this. Your dreams and aspirations, the things that guide you, do you stand for them? Do you make sure to know that they stay the way that they should? Depending on what it is that is happening, do you make your stand or do you make your attack upon something that does not apply and is against that? Say you stand for something that many do not. Will you ensure that what it is that you wish to see will be what it is regardless of what others wish to see. Like, for example, do you know how many girls contact me? Oh, I provide a service. Do you wish to have my service? It's gotten to the point where, as soon as anyone, as far as a girl, messages me, I pretty much tell them, if you fall under this category, might as well stop talking to me right now because I'm going to either block you or you're still not going to get what you want. Bottom line, put my foot down. Can't do nothing about it. Final, absolute, no changes. Never will, never can, never could. A standard that will be, but also the offensive part of this. Telling them, jabbing the sword, saying, hey, if you are under this, um, you're pretty much out of everything. That's not being defensive. That's being offensive. Like, mm, or whatever area you might have. For me, that seems to be the common thing for whatever reason. Don't care what it is either, because won't happen. A shield that pushes back. There was a girl that said something on a video that I made that said that. What was it they said? Cute, but something else? Still yet, and never will be. Take my challenge and you will see. A defensive and offensive stance at the same time. Just an example. At this current time. At least for me. It's bad when there are 10 to maybe 15. And I always have to tell them the same thing. And I always will. Or, if they try to put their proposition first, and you wonder why I do not talk to you after that, do not engage. There's a shield that pushes back from the time that you choose to engage. One saying, there's something wrong with this. No, there isn't. It's being ran the way that I want it to be ran. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with it. You just wish to have a quick coin, is all you wish. Must be offensive and defensive with that as well. Say you are doing something specific. Somebody wishes to offer you a service very specific. For first of all, if it is that you are unique, I will tell you this. It will not work as well for you because you are unique. You cannot be yourself and sound like everyone else. You cannot look as it is you wish. To look as it is the world wishes you. Be happy with what it is that is you. Do not let someone else tell you what beauty is. For there are many guys or girls, regardless of what others will say, regardless of what some magazine or picture happens to say, that you are beautiful upon this day. Or handsome, whichever happens to apply. Just remember the truth of what they show you as soon as that does, it dies. For there is no truth, for it is modded, for there cannot be any truth. If it is different than what it should be, if it has been modded from what the camera can technically see, there is no proof. There is no truth. It is a lie. It does not matter what they say. If they use something to change, they are a false bringer of news. False bringer of what your standard of beauty should be. For in truth, by changing it, true beauty they do not see. For they would not know what it was if it smacked them in the face. For it is they must change the markings upon a beautiful person's face. False bringers of news. What stands is it that you stand as it is they bring you this news? False standards of what beauty is. False standards of what should be. Is it that you are defensive, or you wish the world to see? And for the ones that have fallen for this false standard, I feel sorry for you have not noticed this false standard. But the ones that have done this, Ho 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 ho, I can't wait to see what you get for punishment for this. Maybe proving the fact that your news is false. Requiring you to put a disclaimer that it is false. Would it be that you would like that? If you ask me, you should be required if you alter to do that, just as food does. Or any other false information that is produced. Show the fact that false information you happen to produce. Where it is it that you stand? What kind of stance is it that you happen to stand? Sorry, I do not normally get riled up as much as that. But the truth of the matter, it is as that. You cannot stand at a defensive stance all the time. There are times you must be defensive as well. So knowing such things, do you wish to know what it is that happens when you believe in such things? Thou shalt not covet your neighbor. Sound familiar? By craving to see what it is that they look like on your face or your body, you covet your neighbor. When you are already beautiful as you are, if you do not believe in such things as this, as far as something specific I just mentioned, then let me ask you this. If it is a false standard, would you still stand for this? Only other question I have with this, without changing your body, you cannot produce what it is you see. So why is it that you would crave what it is you see? But here's your biggest problem. Did you ever think the one that happens to be with you wishes for you to look like them. There's always someone that is happy with what you are. Do not think that you must look like someone else to get someone attracted to you. It does not work that way. For appearances are not everything. For you misjudge when it is you do such things. For you judge for what the book's cover looks like, without seeing what it is that's under the cover. You know, the contents. You can take Pepsi and put it in a Sprite bottle all you wish and call it Sprite. It is still Pepsi. Small example why you do not judge a book by its cover. Pretty simple to understand, is it not? Someone tells you, oh, this is Coke, but there's Sprite inside of it? Sorry, they can tell you it's Coke all they want. It's Sprite that's inside of it. Do not judge a book by its cover, and do not think that you have to look like someone else that has had their appearance modded, changed. If I would say you wanted to see what beauty looked like, go in the mirror and you can see what beauty looks like. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.